whistle was blown so much, we couldn't get into a rhythm. We did a good job of coming out in the first quarter, but the game just got unraveled with it, all the calls that was going on. We got in foul trouble. Some of our big key guys, Channy, Kev, Swish, got in foul trouble, and they just broke our rhythm. They did a great job. I mean, those guys played desperate basketball, and with them going, losing the last 3, so they played some good ball, and we got to figure it out, which we will.
Are you surprised at all that the same problems that you had in Milwaukee were largely the same thing in terms of turnovers, not sharing the ball as well, those sorts of things?
Well, I mean, I think some of our turnovers were forced. Some of them was attack turnovers. I think one of my turnovers was unforced. I think, Tristan hit me down the lane on one. I kind of misbobbled it and tried to kick it off a switch, and Bamute got his hands on that one. I think the one that was careless was probably at the end of the second quarter, but I thought I had RJ streaking down the court. We got to get the ball popping a little bit more, but it's easy to say that when you don't make shots, as well. So, we'll figure out, offensively what we need to do better. And, Coach is tinkering with a little, some lineup changes, some personnel things right now, which we'll figure out as well.
Okay. In the SI story today, there was this neat little nugget about Ty at halftime of Game 7, coming to you in front of everybody and say you have to be better. And you were upset about it. It was the whole thing. Have you thought since then about what Ty was doing at that time, and have you come to appreciate how he was kind of using almost like a mind trick to push your button there?
I mean, it's Game 7 of the finals. I don't need a button to be pressed. I was upset for a different reason, and he knew how to get to me, and that's fine. I mean, I responded the best way I know how. I was going out there and playing the game that I love at a high level, and we was able to turn that game around. In the third quarter, started with Swish, and then Kyrie kind of took it over, and I was able to implement my points in the game too. But I've always loved anybody to challenge me. Coach or player, a fan. It's cool. But when you got a guy like T. That's not afraid of anything. And like I said, he's just so sure of himself. So. And we have that confidence in him that he's allowed to say and do whatever he wants. He's the captain of the ship. I keep saying that.
You have both tomorrow and Wade said today that he felt like he had to change his game a lot more to play with you than you had to play with him. And he said it's not even a question, not even a discussion. I'm curious if you agreed with him, and if it is true, did you have to change your game in any way to play with him?
Well, I think we both had to change things. I think. He sacrificed, more of the load, and he just came to me at one point. I don't remember when it was, and he said, "Listen, in order for us to reach our ultimate potential, you gotta be you. You gotta lead this team, and I'm gonna take a step backwards, but I'm here the whole ride." And and that was, for a guy that who implemented his whole, Wade County and his career in Miami to do that. And for us, we end up reaching our full potential. And he's seen something more than I did at that point in time. He had already been to the mountaintop. So, but I did a lot more catch and shoot, in the corners, and a lot more cutting. I learned how to cut and do the things that he was accustomed to doing. So I learned a lot from him as well.
Coach Lou said that tonight, the Clippers were more desperate for a win coming off a 3-game losing streak. Just how much do you think tonight was their play and how well they played versus what you guys could have done better?
They played well, and we didn't play our best game.
Ron, so many of us have been around for the last couple of years, and we would know what this room would be like after 2 losses like this 2 years ago or last year. And this year, obviously, the feeling's different. Things are going to be okay. What is that a result of? What causes this kind of a measured reaction after 2 pretty poor games?
Yeah, 2 pretty poor games for sure. But in an 82-game season, you're going to have, a couple games, maybe a few games in the season where they're pretty poor. You hope that they're not back-to-back, but it happens. And it's happened to us in Milwaukee and out tonight. And the best thing about this league is you always kind of get an opportunity right away to be better. Now, 3 games in a row, something to talk about. So we need to figure it out. But like I said, the good thing, it's different from football where you got to wait a whole another week trying to redeem yourself. We get right back at it tomorrow night, less than 48 hours. So, we'll be all right.
With Chris not playing right now and the fact that you and Dwayne are going to go up against each other tomorrow, both wearing jerseys that don't say Heat across the front, it's kind of like a moment in time where we can officially look back at that the 4-year run that you guys had together. What's like your knee-jerk reaction when you think about what you guys accomplished or what you guys meant?
I don't think I'm gonna look back at the 4-year run. I mean, I don't know. I spent 7 years here, and then I changed jerseys. He stayed in the same jersey. But I don't think I'm gonna look back. I mean, anytime I see him, I don't even think about really the times on the court. I just think about the friendship and the camaraderie that we've built over these last 14 years. We got so many memories off the floor, and obviously you guys know about what happened on the court, but those things is always going to be there. And, we know what we accomplished, what we wanted to accomplish even more. But it's a new day, it's a new time, and I don't think I'm going to look back on it too much.
Part of that friendship is having to wear the Cubs uniform. Will you walk briskly through the United Center to the locker room?
Fred, I thought you was on my side. You want to really remind me about that? Yeah, I gotta wear it. No, I gotta wear it. I mean, listen, you make a bet. Last year, I think I lost to Draymond in the Ohio State, Michigan State. I sent my wine to him. I filled my bets. Now I lost to D Wade in the World Series, so now I gotta wear my Cubs uniform to the game tomorrow. So don't make fun of me, guys.
What number is it?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's. I'm always on the first bus. Come on, man. Only time I'm not on the first bus is when I don't play. I'm always on the first bus. So.
You can tear the sleeves at least?
No, I'm not wearing it in the game, so I don't have a problem with that. But, yeah, I'll be in it.
All right, guys, thank you.
Able to do defensively, really kind of shut down the normal attempts and makes at the three-point line.
It just got to a point where, some of our guys were, our starters, got some foul trouble going into the first, going into the second. Put some pressure on us a little bit. They got outgoing, got some easy ones, shot some free throws. That's a veteran team in the locker room. And, they understood that, we know each other well. We basically run almost the same plays. They were getting downhill and making plays. Did a good job of keeping them out of the paint initially, with some bad bounces here and there, some tip outs that led to kind of 2 or 3 possessions that kind of wasted a lot of time. So for us, just got to be a little more gritty, especially when we're defensive rebounding, including myself, just being around that foul line area, being ready to rebound those long balls.
Did you sense coming in it might be a grinded out affair?
I mean, it could be either way, especially with that team. They're so talented. So, they have guys that are able to do dirty work as well as be aggressive offensively and defensively. So we just had to match that going forward, especially when we play them again.
It's a long season. This team's going to win a lot of games. We know that. But to have this type of performance coming off in Milwaukee, is there anything right now that's concerning you?
There's definitely some adjustments to be made. We'll watch film and go from there.
Also understanding long season, these kinds of things happen. It seemed in the third quarter that you and Tristan had a disagreement on something. Can you tell us what that was?
I don't necessarily think it was a disagreement. It was just something that I saw. He saw as well. We weren't on the same page at that particular moment, but going forward, it stayed there in the huddle, and we continue to play basketball.
You guys had 6 assists in the final 3 quarters, and Ty mentioned something about LA turning you guys more into a one-on-one team with the things that they were doing defensively. When that happens, is there something else you guys can do as a team to make sure that the ball continues to move?
Just find some continuity plays, but for us, I mean, if you're gonna live the same way, you got to be able to die the same way. And we have confidence in our one-on-one abilities as well as our post-up abilities, and we're still gonna keep going to that. I mean, no matter what, we're not gonna lose confidence in one another. T. Lou does a great job of managing the game, and myself and Brian too. So. We don't want to put an excuse on us playing one-on-one. I mean, because at the end of the day, we're still really great players. But going forward, just some matchups on the backside and the weak side, we got to get some more action on that side.